Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge, and let's talk horror. Now, today I'm joined by the beautiful group of Sarah and Kelly, the final girls. How you doing today, guys?
Hey, how are
Yeah,
you, Ken? Thanks
great.
for having us.
Yeah, thank you so
So,
much.
it is such an honor to have you guys. We actually got the pleasure of meeting each other at GhoulieCon, and it was an amazing time getting to know you guys and learning more about you through the panel. But I want people here to get to know you. So before we talk about why you're here, I would like for the people that don't know you to get to know you a little bit. Sarah is a Los Angeles-born historian, writer, and obviously co-host of The Final Girls, a femme-forward horror podcast exploring the tropes and traumas of our iconic Final Girls. Your work blends humor, heart, and cultural critiques as well. Now, your writing has appeared in like The Hollywood Reporter, Los Angeles Times, Architectural Digest, and more. So, what was it like being like, yeah, well, you know what? That's not enough. I want to do a podcast as well.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't get to talk to about a lot of the horror stuff that I wanted to talk about. So, yeah, I was like, Kelly, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank God you did. It's working out. But you also have three forthcoming baby witchcraft
I
books
do.
scheduled for release late 2025. So congratulations on that.
Thank
That's
you.
absolutely amazing.
Thank you. They're hitting stores this week, so I'm very excited.
That's awesome. And by the time this interview is released, guys, you'll be able to check those out as well. So that's the first half of our final girls in not any particular order. We also have the amazing Kelly. You are a techie and AI enthusiast with a BA in film studies and an MS in human computer interactions. I can barely say that. So what what got you the desire to, really tackle that type of field?
I've always been a huge nerd and I just like to get my hands dirty with technology. I'm always the first person to buy the new thing, try the new thing. We have even one of the silly Amazon Astro robots that like patrols our house. And I was like all about VR when that came out. And I just love seeing how quickly technology is advancing, and AI has been my favorite part of it. I know that's a controversial statement. I've dealt with this before, but I think it's absolutely the best thing ever in some ways. There's definitely risks and
Sure.
challenges, but yeah, it definitely has been a much more lucrative field than film studies. So I was really glad that I made the choice to pivot there.
Well, and I think that, AI, like you said, can be very good, but I've also seen Terminator 2. So I've got my eye on you.
I swear to God, that is the number one thing that comes up when AI comes up.
I know. It's
And
Skynet.
always that
Eric,
one.
my
Yeah.
brother, Sarah's husband, is always like, Skynet, you're working for
Skynet's listening.
Skynet. It's like, calm down.
Yes. See, I fit in with a crowd finally. But you share your life in Auburn with your fiance and your pets. But outside of podcasting, you enjoy playing video games and attending conventions like San Diego Comic-Con, obviously in costume. But I do got to ask, since you are a gamer, have you seen the trailer for the new Hellraiser game coming out?
I haven't
There's a
yet. Did that
Hellraiser
just
game
come
coming
out during SDCC? Because I missed it
You
this
got
year.
you have to check out the trailer. Like it's
Oh,
Doug Bradley reprises
okay.
his role as Pinhead in the video game doing
Okay.
the
He has
voice.
to.
I
He
might
has
have to
So,
to.
play this. I'm not a gamer,
oh
and
my
so I feel like I have to play it.
Hell yeah. Or
I
Sarah,
watched the trailer.
I'll play it and I'll screen share with you and
Okay.
you can watch
Yeah. Like
it.
I literally have little emo goosebumps just thinking about how great that
Oh
trailer
God.
is. Like it's
Okay.
so epic.
I'm gonna check
So
it out right after this.
we talked about obviously what you guys do individually, but we're really here for the team, for the
Mhm.
Final Girls. So what started the Final Girls?
So I went to the Terrifier 3 in theaters last year, late last year with my husband Eric, Kelly's brother, and we were driving home and I spent the entire 35-minute drive talking about Sienna and how perfect of a final girl she was and how she just it was all of the things she ticked all the boxes. She was great. I couldn't stop talking about her. And Eric was like, I used to have a podcast, and Eric was like, you should really like bring your podcast back and start talking about this kind of thing. And I used a podcast by myself and I was like, well, I want a co-host. Who could be my co-host? And Eric was just kind of sitting there like, duh, Kelly. Like, why are you even asking this question? So literally, like the minute I got home, I we texted her and we're like, we have an idea.
Yeah. And I was hesitant
Yeah.
because I tend to stay off social media. I don't really
Mhm.
like to put myself out there generally. I'm kind of private and introverted. But, I also love podcasts. And so I was like,
Right.
oh, it would actually be really cool to have one. It never really occurred to me. And then we started doing it, and now like I'm obsessed. I want to do it forever. So
And you guys are absolutely crushing it.
Thank you.
thanks.
Like I said, meeting you guys there and being able to pick your guys' brains and see what horror means to you, and then listening to the show and see how deep you get into what you do and all the research. And it's a lot of work to do what you guys do. And you guys are absolutely crushing it. And the best thing is, guys, you don't have to go far to find them because I have all their links down in the description. So please make sure you're subscribing, liking, leaving 5-star reviews, doing everything you do for your podcast to try to push them into this picky thing we're all trying to figure out called the algorithm. So
Yep.
if you could go there, like I said, like them, follow them, subscribe, do everything you can. Not for me, not for them, for yourself, because you're going to regret it if you don't, because they're fucking amazing. So,
Thank
Oh my
you.
um,
gosh, such high praise.
Thank you. I appreciate
but
that.
in order for you to do such an amazing horror podcast, horror had to start for you somewhere. So now I would like to go back to the past and talk about what got you started in the horror genre, your first horror movie. And I'm going to start with you first this time, Kelly. Your first horror movie was.
Oh boy, you're starting with me, even though I'm the one with the hot take. Um,
Oh, this
uh,
is a hot take I'm also going to die on the hill with because I'm with you
oh great,
100% on
oh
this.
good, oh good, because some
Ooh.
people at the panel weren't.
Hmm.
My first and beloved horror movie is Jurassic Park. And I know that not everyone considers Jurassic Park to be a horror movie, and I would say I get it, but I don't agree with you. You're wrong.
Hmm.
I think if you consider Jaws a horror movie, then you can
Right.
absolutely consider Jurassic Park. And we did Alien. Some people would say Alien's not horror, it's sci-fi, right? Like some people
Oh,
say Silence
stop.
of the Lambs isn't horror, it's, psychological thriller or whatever. But
In
the
my opinion, that's just a way for people to lowbrow horror.
Mhm.
If
totally,
something is made
totally.
that's like a huge box office success, that's
Right.
gotten a lot of
Spielberg
praise,
and
yes, then they're going to be like, oh, well, that's not just horror, it's sci-fi horror as a
yeah.
way to drink their champagne and be like, this is not a
Oh yeah.
horror film,
Lots of
like,
gatekeeping. Yeah, there's
The
lots of
yeah.
gatekeeping here.
gatekeeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I dare someone to show me more of a slasher trope in any horror movie than that raptor.
Oh my God.
Oh.
And which
Like
is
it's such
my
a slasher
favorite.
moment.
Yeah, the reason it stands out to me so much is first of all because it's my second favorite movie of all time. And I saw it in the theater when I was 7. And that was a really big deal because I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I was a huge scaredy cat when I was a kid.
Hmm.
I absolutely could not watch anything frightening unless it was like Goosebumps. But I was also obsessed with dinosaurs. And I told my parents, I was like, I really want to go see it. I really want to. And they're like, that's way too intense for you. There's no way we're going to bring you. And I just kept begging. And then eventually they relented and they tried to hold my hand throughout, but I was like on board. I was all
Right.
about it, obsessed. And my favorite stuffed animal to this day, which I guess you listeners won't see, but I'm going to show to these two because I still have him after 30 years.
Oh, they'll see it. They'll see it.
They
This is
will?
all video. Yeah.
Okay, okay, so this is Raptor. Yeah, I've had him for 3 decades, and one of the nicely realistic JP Velociraptors. And yeah, the
Yeah.
Raptors were my dear, dear favorite. So just I still have such fond memories. I can watch that movie every day and not get tired of it. So
Hmm. I do. I'm with you. I've always said that I think Jurassic Park is 100% a horror movie. Just like I think that the Terminator is 100% a slasher. So this is something I could argue till the end of time.
love
So
it.
we know where horror started for you, Kelly, but what about you, Sarah? What was your first horror movie?
So my first was I Know What You Did Last Summer, which feels very appropriate for this summer. Um, I was probably, I want to say 10 or 11, and we were watching it at a sleepover. I also was a scaredy cat, but in a way where I just couldn't get enough of scaring myself. I loved it. I was immediately hooked. And but before that, I actually was Kelly and I were both really big readers as kids. We've talked about this a few times. I was really into Fear Street books,
Yeah.
Goosebumps, Stephen King. I loved, 90s kids, so I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark? I love the scary stories to tell in the dark.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
Yeah.
just loved everything that scared the crap out of me. I just loved it, and I was very imaginative. I was a very imaginative little kid, so I got scared by a lot. I just really loved it. It was kind of a weird, morbid fascination. But yeah, I know what you did last summer. 10, 11 years old, I sleepover. I'll never forget it.
That's
My one of the parents of the girl that was hosting was this really great like deadhead hippie, and of course he knew what we were watching, and he'd like probably seen it. I don't know if he had, but we were all curled up with our in our sleeping bags, and with our popcorn, and we're watching it so intensely. And he had gone outside and come around into like the living room area and started like tapping on the glass.
yes.
I'll never forget that feeling. We jumped out of our like sleeping bags and screamed. It was so fun. Just a visceral experience.
That's awesome. And like I said, it helped to shape the person you are today. Without that moment in your life, you may not be not just the horror fan, but the human being you are today. Because a lot of us, and I don't mean for this to sound corny or cliche or anything, but horror is a part of us. Like it
Yeah.
really is. And, especially now for people, I'm quite a bit older than you guys, but for people like us, when we were young, we didn't have this disgusting thing called the internet where we could just, connect with people that were like-minded. So, when you grew up being a horror fan, you were a weirdo, you were an outcast, you were different. And so now, like to be able, that's why I love doing this so much because I get to connect with people that are like me, that are weird and
Mhm.
strange and unusual. And I think that it's amazing to get to pick your guys' brains and learn how it started for you. So, we know, Sarah, that it started with I Know What You Did Last Summer. But do you remember what the scene was that affected you the most?
Oh my goodness, I do. It was when Julie finds she goes to the like the freezer, fishing freezer area, and Helen and Barry's bodies slide out. I don't know why, but that freaked me out. It was like it wasn't the first bodies you see on camera either. It was just there was something about the vulnerability and them being her friends, and just the creepiness and the grossness of being on ice, and yeah, just it was very I'll always, like I said, always remember that first viewing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like I said, she's given those guttural screams at
Yeah.
that moment too.
Oh.
And like she's in that ice. Like there's just so much, and that claustrophobic,
Hmm.
feeling you have just watching her go through all of this. So
Hmm.
I think that's amazing. What about you, Kelly? What was the scene from Jurassic Park that affected you the most?
I kind of have a twofold answer for this because my favorite scene is, of course, the iconic moment of the raptors pursuing the kids in the kitchen,
Oh, that's a
which
good one.
is just incredible. I was so amazed by the raptor effects, and I actually felt really bad when they locked that one in the walk-in freezer. I was like, oh no, he's gonna die in there. And I had no like thought for the kids' safeties. I was just like, wow, look at those amazing dinosaurs. It was just like it blew my mind how real they looked, and that just thrilled like young dinosaur me. Um, but in terms of the scene that I probably thought was the scariest at the time, I would say um, when Dennis Nedry encounters the Dilophosaurus as he's trying to escape with the embryos. And of course, he's like, "Oh, you're stupid. Like you're not scary." And then it opens the frill and screams at him before blinding him and then murdering him and eating him,
Yeah.
presumably. And that scene is effective still. So,
See, I still think that, and I think about this all the time, and I've said this on the show before. I can't put into words as a child how bad I wanted a Barbasol can that I
oh
could
my God,
open
I
from the
know.
bottom.
I know.
As a,
Yeah.
as a teenager, I was like, I could hide my extracurricular activities in here. But
Yep.
I just thought that it would be the coolest thing ever after watching that
Yeah.
movie. Like, man, just have one of
Totally.
those that I could hide shit in. Like, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. So,
Definitely.
You guys are making
um,
me want to watch this one again. I haven't seen the
Oh, hey,
original in a few years at
you should
least.
wait because we're gonna do it on the pod. because I
Oh,
really
okay.
want to do Dr. Ellie Sadler as a
Oh,
final
that's
girl. So,
perfect. Okay.
Yes,
All
that's a
right.
great final girl, and she does have an amazing final girl moment in this movie that we will talk
she
about
has
here in a little
many.
bit.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
one of my favorite, and I think this is such a good final girl moment, and it's such a good jump scare when she finally gets the lights back on,
Oh, I
and
know
the raptor
exactly.
comes out
Yeah,
right from the
yeah.
side. Like
And
that
the
scene still to this
I
day is
know.
so
And
good.
the Raptors have that amazing screech that they do that just like is piercing and oh my God, what great sound design and special effects. Those effects, man, that giant animatronic T-Rex, like you just it doesn't get better than that. That was 1993. It still holds up, man.
I was just gonna say they still can't make movies today that look as good as Jurassic Park does. And how it
Honestly,
still holds up, not just how it looked then, but
right?
even how it holds up now.
It's
Like that
amazing.
movie is an anomaly. I don't know what they made with the devil to make that movie look so perfect. But all of us, even as a kid, when you see the dinosaurs for the first time, like you're overtaken with wonder. And even now, like me as a 40-year-old dude, I'm like,
No,
that's
I'm
so
getting
amazing.
goosebumps right now talking about it.
Yeah.
Like for a long time, I really wanted to be a paleontologist because I felt like that was the closest I was going to get to
Hmm.
dinosaur life. And now I'm like, well, now that we have AI, who knows?
Oh,
Anything's
Like,
here we
possible.
I'm like,
go.
yeah.
Anything's
I'm like,
possible.
are we gonna reset the dinosaurs? I don't know, maybe.
See, and like I love how with a movie like this, not only do they did the little things that work so perfectly. Like, um, actually, Ashley and I did audio video production together in school, and one of the movies that we did in there was Jurassic Park, and doing a deep dive on it
Mhm.
and learning how they did stuff. And one of the coolest things I learned, and I don't know if you know this, Kelly, I know you're a fan of the movie, but the scene where they're in the car and the water's rippling. Do you
Mhm.
know how they did that?
I don't remember, no.
They tried so hard to do everything. They were hitting the truck, they did everything. What they ended up doing was a sound guy came in and he strung an acoustic guitar low E string and pulled it down and plucked it. So the vibration of the guitar went up through the cup and rippled the water up to the top.
See, and nowadays
Hello.
they would just use CGI. But back
Right, but
then
this
they
was
were like, I'm gonna get crafty.
yes, they used a low E string, strung it down, and he's just sitting there plucking this
Oh,
guitar string,
that's
and that's
cool.
causing that ripple with that vibration.
Yeah,
And like I said, things like that are what makes Spielberg and his team.
really though.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
he brings in the people that he knows are going to create an amazing work of art, and
Hmm.
they have done that so many times. And
Absolutely.
it's just every time I rewatch this movie, I'm just in awe about
Totally.
something else. Like it's
Honestly. But then it's still such a
such
great movie. It's like, yeah,
yes.
production value wise, it's incredible, but also it's
It's
just
just
a
entertaining.
fantastic
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It
It
keeps
kind
you on
of,
the edge of your seat the whole time too.
hmm
Like
hmm
you're always
yeah.
whether it's you're being scared, whether you're laughing,
hmm
like that's a huge pile of shit. There's always something in this movie and
Oh my
God, Jeff
gosh.
Goldblum is
Jeff
so
Goldblum.
goddamn sexy.
Yeah,
Like,
he is.
God,
Yeah, he
man.
is.
That's funny you say that because when I was a kid, I actually had a crush on Sam Neill instead. So Dr. Grant,
Oh,
because I was like, oh, he's a dinosaur like guy, I don't know. I was just like, he
this
appealed to
isn't
me.
about looks. This is about brains,
I
Sam
guess
Neill.
so. I
And
guess there
you
was
got the
something.
dino brains,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
That's
as
cute.
horror fans, another thing we love is the kills. We're drawn to the kills. Kelly, what would you say your favorite or I hate saying favorites, it's weird, but most impactful kill from Jurassic Park would be?
Oh, the clever girl kill.
Oh, clever girl.
Clever girl. I was just watching Death of a Unicorn. And I won't spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen
Yeah, I
it.
haven't seen that one yet. It's
Oh,
on my
really?
list. Yeah.
It's it's pretty wild. But as you're watching it, there's definitely some Jurassic Park influences, and they actually have a scene that almost directly mimics the clever girl moment. That's how iconic it is that we're still doing that scene,
Hmm.
this many decades later. So, but
Well,
that scene is so great because Muldoon is like the cool guy. He's the guy
yeah.
who's not going to get killed, but then he gets duped because the raptors are so intelligent. So
And the way he says it too, just he knows he's screwed.
he knows it, and
Like,
it's like
kudos to you,
exactly, exactly. His last
like,
line on Earth is like basically giving the Raptors credit for
yep.
outsmarting him. Love
Like, you know
that.
what? You win.
Yeah,
You got
exactly.
it. You did
Yeah,
it.
well, yeah, I'm hooked.
So, what about you, Sarah? What was the kill that impacted you the most from I Know What You Did Last Summer?
My instinct would be to say Helen's, because we've talked about this before, in our podcast where she just puts up such an amazing fight. Like I truly feel like the only reason Helen wasn't our final girl was because she just got unlucky. I mean, Kelly's like, no, she stopped and looked behind her, and that's what like slowed her down. But
I was a little harsh, maybe, but
but I would say that one, just for the gut punch of the fact that she was so close to making it and she didn't. And you don't really see any of the like the money shots that you do with like the other one I have in mind is Max with the hook to the chin. That's pretty much the
Oh
only
yeah.
like money shot we see because I know what you did last summer in terms of being a slasher. It's pretty tame. It doesn't.
Mhm.
It's not super. I mean, obviously, it's gory in that it's a teen horror slasher, but compared to even like Scream, Scream's opening scene with Drew Barrymore is so intense and so
Yeah.
gory. And I know what you did last summer just doesn't do the same thing. So I would say Max the with the hook because it is probably the only one that
the
we
most
see that's
brutal. Yeah.
yeah that we see of that nature, and they added that after.
Yeah.
So like they're like,
Which
oh,
good thing.
this isn't intense enough. We're gonna add this, and I love Johnny Galecki, so
I'm like, that guy didn't even do nothing wrong to
I
you,
know
fisherman.
He
Like, that's kind of
didn't.
fucked
he was a
up,
little
man. Like,
creepy. He's a little creep
Well,
incelly
but
to
not to the
towards Julie.
fisherman.
No, not to the
yeah, I
fisherman.
know. Like when the fisherman killed him, I was like, man, what a dick. This guy.
Yeah,
We
That's
just
how
did
we
a
felt.
rewatch of it, and I was just like, what an asshole.
That's how we
yeah,
felt
Like,
about the second movie. We're like,
oh
why is he
yeah,
killing these people? What did he
yeah.
do to
right.
you? Like,
That fucking second movie, man.
mm,
I don't know. I know people
oh
have
my God.
nostalgia for it.
We don't fuck with that movie. We're just like, this is
I
terrible.
cannot
Everything
get
about
into
it.
that movie at all. Like, get it? Will Ben's
Well,
son?
oh
I'm
my
like,
God. Okay.
get out
So
now.
I don't,
Grounded.
so
Get out.
this is a little bit like, I don't want to sound like I'm stroking my ego or anything, but sometimes I do re-listen to our episodes just because I'm like, that was fun to talk about. And that's probably the episode I re-listen to the most
It's really
because it just
fun.
cracks me up. I was
Hmm.
so angry while we were talking about it. And then Sarah came out and she was so angry. And it's just fun to just dump on bad movies.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And that is a bad movie.
it's
It's not
horrendous.
it's not even charmingly
It's
bad, you
not
No.
know?
good. It's not good bad. It's not good
It's
bad.
not, but I've seen since the new one came out, I've seen a ton of people on social media like kind of loving on it, just like, oh, Carla and Julie appreciation posts and things like
Uh,
that. I'm like, did we watch the same movie? Because that is no.
Now
yeah,
I'll
that's
now what I'll say in that reference, uh, I still know is better than I'll always in 25 in my opinion. But
oh.
to me, those are a very low bar. I'm not
Yeah.
going to get too spoilery about the newest one, just because people might not have seen it yet. There was a lot I found wrong with that movie,
Okay.
a lot. Um,
Yeah.
and it's not even about the reveal at the end. It's not even about the third act. Like it has nothing to do with that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you taking a risk. The reason I thought was stupid, and we'll talk about that off air, but there's one scene, and this isn't really a spoiler, but I'm telling you, like this made me want to punch an infant. Um, you have one of our characters standing over top of the fisherman, and he spits on the fisherman. They're fighting, and then it does a hard cut to that same character just crawling away, and it's like, how do you go from him literally standing over top of the fisherman, spitting on him, to a hard cut of him crawling away, trying to get away? It's like, that's terrible writing and terrible
Ooh.
editing. I'm hoping if we get like an unrated, unreleased version, we could see maybe there was a scene cut there or maybe a deleted
Yeah.
scene
I
that
wouldn't count
shows.
on it.
Yeah, me
These movies
neither.
have very little logic
Well, the
logical
original I Know What You
connection.
Did Last Summer had the worst fade out of any movie ever. When Ryan Phillippe's laying there and he's like, please, I'm sorry. And then the fisherman's looking down at him. Then it
And
just
then
cuts to them
we
at the
just
hospital.
that was, I know that we didn't even talk about that in our episode, but I remember thinking like, oh, okay, so we're gonna find out that he was killed. And then
Yeah.
no, he's just in the hospital and he's like, oh, like that sucked.
Yeah. The fisherman was like, take that, stupid.
Right, with a
You
goofy
know?
voice. Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No,
Oh,
the new
hey, while you're
one.
down there, you dropped this. See you later. Like, come on, man. So
Yeah.
I've never, and again, I try not to be like a shitty person, but I Know What You Did Last Summer was never my jam, any of them really. I did love Scream. I loved Urban Legend. I thought Valentine had a ounce of originality to it. But there was just something about I Know What You Did Last Summer that just never did it for me. And I'm
Just didn't
glad there's
hit.
people that love it. Yeah. Like I said,
Yeah.
I would never shit on anybody for liking a movie. I think that's the stupidest thing in the world. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
I
very
can still talk
personal.
about it. I can still,
Yeah.
yeah, I can still listen to people talk about it. And it actually makes me want to like it more when I hear people that
Mhm.
love it so much. And, with a movie like this that is part of a franchise, I got to ask you, Sarah, because this is one of the questions. I think I know the answer for both of these, but I still got to ask. Since I Know What You Did Last Summer is part of a franchise, what is your favorite film in the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise?
Oh, the first one. For sure. This latest one, I'm not gonna spoil anything either. I just felt like if you had taken like the IP out of it and it's just kind of it felt like another I mean, it was very generic,
Yeah.
but it was a fun movie. I mean, it's a fun summer. I just love to be entertained. I talk about this too. It's like I just put something on. I don't care what it is, what subgenre, whatever. If it keeps me entertained for an hour and a half, I'm good. The only thing I don't really watch much of is like superhero movies. But
Yeah.
yeah, the I liked the new one just fine, but the first one is the best. You can't beat the
I haven't
first.
seen the new one yet. But I do plan to
Oh, well, here
watch.
I am talking shit.
Oh no, please. That's
Like,
to be honest, I kind of expected that because it's like the quality has gone so off a cliff
For
since the
that
first and
franchise.
yeah, exactly. And
Because
honestly, the first movie I do like and I do enjoy, but of course there were better slashers like Scream and everything. Which was my first slasher movie that I saw. But yeah, I go in with really low expectations for I mean, the new Scream movies have been pretty great in my
the
opinion,
new
but I would
Final
not,
Destination.
and Final Destination,
Those
and I
yeah.
would not have expected that for this franchise. So I'm okay with knowing that
No.
it's garbage because that actually intrigues me.
what have the killers been spoiled for you yet?
No.
Okay, then I'm glad I didn't say it. I'm not
So
even off screen.
it's not
Off screen.
Ben and Will Ben's
Well,
son.
Ben's son.
Yeah, no.
There's a fake out, but yeah, oh
There's
my
a
God.
Oh, of
couple.
course there's a fucking
Yeah,
fake out. Are you kidding me?
there's this guy named Will Ben's grandson. I don't know. He might have something to do with it.
Oh, that's
But
strange.
yeah, it's weird how that works. Um Same question for you, Kelly. What's your favorite movie in the Jurassic Park franchise?
Come on. I
I
mean,
know.
obvious.
Listen,
Yeah.
I
Well,
wouldn't ask
hey,
if my script tells me I gotta ask, and the
no,
boss says I gotta follow the script.
it's
So
okay because my favorite horror, like non-dinosaur horror franchise is of course the Evil Dead franchise. And
Mhm.
my favorite one of that franchise is not the first movie. It's Evil Dead 2. So like I think it's a valid question because you never
Yeah.
know like which one in a franchise is going to hit the hardest. Obviously Jurassic Park 1 is the best. I don't think that's even disputable. I will say that The Lost World is still fun. I think
Oh
that
yeah.
movie's still
Yeah.
solid. And
Mhm.
that baby T-Rex, and it has like Julianne Moore, it has Vince Vaughn. I mean, that one is it's good too, but not
It's
like the
like
first one.
it's like Jaws and Jaws 2. If it didn't follow such an amazing movie, it would be
Yeah.
considered an all-time classic.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally.
I
Yeah,
love The
there's
Lost World.
yeah.
I adore Jaws 2. They
Hmm.
just follow two of the greatest movies of all
Yeah.
time. So it's hard
Yeah,
to put them up in that conversation.
exactly.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel about the Purge. Like Purge
Yeah.
Hmm.
Election Year is my favorite one, but we wouldn't have Purge Election Year without Anarchy or the first one. Like if the
Hmm.
first one, because the first one is fine, but Anarchy is takes it 10 times from the first one, and then Election Year takes that 10 times, and that's my favorite one. So I'm with you. That's a valid question.
Oh
Sarah, I
yeah.
was just researching Halloween costumes because I start early,
Yes.
and one
Are
of
you
the
being a
ones
candy girl?
No, no. One of the ones that came up was the Purge election year, the Statue of Liberty
Statue of
one with the
Liberty.
mask, which would be
Yeah.
so cool, except a lot of places don't let you wear masks anymore.
That's
But
true.
Yeah.
but it would look really cool in the dark, like all lit up. You know?
That's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
You should do
So
it.
now,
Mm.
Sarah, you're going to get to cheat for this question.
Awesome.
Because I'm going to ask Kelly first. We're at your turn in the rotation, Kelly.
Oh God.
I've loved talking to you guys about, and I already know the answer, but the people don't, so I still got to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had an amazing time talking about your first horror movie, but here for a little bit, I do want to throw a little bit of a curveball at you. My little buddy Ghostface is here, and he has a question for you.
Okay.
What's your favorite scary movie, Kelly? What is your favorite horror movie of all time?
Well, Evil Dead 2. I say this all the time, but I'm a huge fan of Ash as a character, even though I know he's the biggest idiot on earth. And I love just the ridiculousness that Sam Raimi pumped into that franchise. And then for them to go on and make a show, which I know we talked about at GhouliCon, and the show is so good. It's like, who would expect that franchise to just continue so strong for so long? And Bruce is just a gem.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. Yes, I wouldn't say it's like scary, but it is just Sam Raimi to the core, and he just does it the best. So,
I think when you look at the original trilogy, especially Evil Dead 2 is the perfect mix of horror and comedy.
yep.
Where,
Yeah.
which they should have called Medieval Dead, Army of
Oh,
Darkness.
oh,
Um,
don't get me started on that. Yes, I know.
that obviously way more on the comedic, sci-fi action side with just splashes of horror here and there. And the original Evil Dead is just straight horror, which is funny because if you go back and rewatch the first Evil Dead, you're like, that turns into Ash Williams. Like that fucking guy is the one that is Ash Williams. Like, are you
I
kidding
mean, I
me?
can kind of see it though, because even the first movie, he's a huge wimp, but he's like this wimpy dork, you know. And then that just turns into stupid, like cocky, arrogant. Like he's still
Yeah.
dumb and lovable,
He's
and
a final daddy.
he's a final
We call him
daddy.
the
Final
original
Daddy.
He's
final
he's
daddy.
making all the wrong choices,
Yep.
and I love him for that. Yeah, when you mentioned Army of Darkness being more comedy, I always tell people that he's basically Jim Carrey in that movie.
Mhm.
And like, if anyone
Oh
hasn't seen
yeah.
it,
Yeah,
watch
he
it. His
is.
mannerisms are so Jim Carrey-like, and that's the level of silliness that movie embodies. And I love that movie too. But
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. And like I said, and real quick side note, when I was watching the Evil Dead 2013, I
Mhm.
so thought Lou Taylor Pucci's Eric was going to be the Ash because he was that nerdy, dorky guy that opened the
Yeah.
book. And I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, he's going to end up being. And then
I could see that.
obviously Mia was awesome. Like, I'm not trying to
Sure.
downplay it. Like, she was
Oh no.
fucking fantastic. But at first watch, I was like, Lou Taylor Pucci, he's going to be that guy.
And
He's going to
then he
be.
gets pretty fucked up. But like, yeah, and
Yeah.
I like, oof. And I love that movie too. But yeah, at the time I was really bitter that they would dare make an Evil Dead movie without Ash. But they have since rectified that, with the TV show. So I'll allow it.
Mhm. I still think that, knowing that Ash was cool with it and he was a producer and
Yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
I, you know, I'll be honest, the first Evil Dead is my least favorite of the franchise.
I get
And
it.
again, this is not a slight at the first Evil Dead. I think that movie's
But
fantastic.
out of the franchise, yes, I agree.
Right.
I
When you're looking
agree.
at a franchise this good,
Yeah,
you got to have a bottom. And for
totally
me, that's
agree.
Evil Dead. So,
Yeah.
okay, dude, give me a second. Ghostface is getting a little bit impatient here.
Uh-oh.
What's your favorite scary movie, Sarah? What is your favorite horror movie?
Okay, let me ask you this first. Would we count Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, to be a horror movie?
Why
Yeah, you
not?
do? Okay, then that's it. Because I know it's yes. That would be my favorite Jennifer's Body, runner up, but definitely Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I'm obsessed with Elvira. She's my favorite. She's like my hero. I'm meeting Cassandra Peterson at Midsummer Scream in a couple weeks. I
I
got the
forgot
photo
she
of.
was gonna be
Yes,
there.
I got a
We're gonna meet
photo of.
Art.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Otherwise, if people don't consider that a horror movie, Jennifer's Body.
Yes, and Jennifer's Body, I'm so damn happy that movie's starting to get the cult
Yes,
following
me
that it
too.
deserves.
Me
Like that to
too.
me, and this is just me, I feel the same way about Jennifer's Body as I do the 2005 House of Wax. Those
Oh, weird.
movies,
I love that movie.
well,
We
no,
love
those
House of
movies
Wax.
had the worst marketing
They
Yeah,
sure
of
yeah,
did.
yeah,
all time.
yeah.
You know, the House of Wax movie was like, come see Paris Hilton
Paris
get
Until die.
died.
killed.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, like
Just
it
talked
wasn't
about this
like,
literally
hey,
yesterday.
come watch an amazing movie that has
Yeah.
a phenomenal amount
Yeah.
of practical effects,
Oh my
Yes.
God.
phenomenal
Scary
set
ones
pieces.
too. Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
Like that
everyone just,
finger
yeah.
scene, like, and
Hmm.
then the glue on the, oh
Oh,
my God, it's such, I will die on the hill.
I
That's a
love
fan.
that
it's
And
movie.
with
people, I'm
a
like, dude,
crazy climax too.
Yes.
Paris Hilton's not
Wild.
even the worst part of that movie. Like, I
No.
don't, like,
And she's not
great
even that
kill.
hard to stomach either. She's fine.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Like,
She's
she's not even
fine.
bad. But
Yeah.
that
yeah.
was the marketing of the movie. It was like, hey,
Yeah.
come watch us kill. And then Jennifer's Body was like, you know, you like Megan Fox. Come see her in
Exactly.
a cheerleader outfit.
Come
And it
see
was
her
like,
make out with
Make
Amanda
out.
Seyfried.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
terrible
The
marketing
marketing
led
did it
to
so dirty.
it did. And, you know, I'm glad that people have come to appreciate what Jennifer's Body is and what
Mhm.
that movie represents. And I think it's a extremely underrated horror movie.
It absolutely
It's
is.
scary and sexy and
Hmm.
enthralling. And every time I watch that movie, seeing Adam Brody sing
I
through the
was, yeah,
trees
through the
does
trees.
something to me. And that song gets stuck in my
Right?
head for weeks. I'll be
Yeah.
driving like
Through
through
the
the
trees.
trees. That's so fucking funny. I'm
It's
like,
so
listen, Mr. Seth from the OC, you hooked me. Okay. Your
with
earwig is in
eyeliner.
there.
Seth with
Yes.
eyeliner. Yeah.
So fantastic. So,
So
man,
good.
ladies, I've had an amazing time talking about your first horror movies, your favorite horror movies, and everything in the middle. But before I let you go, we always bounce back to the same question. We're going to go back to your first horror movie, and what we're going to do is rank this on a skull count.
Okay.
Now, we're not ranking it on acting, production, score, direction, nothing like that. We're not being critics. All we're doing is ranking your first horror movie on how much it affected you on your first viewing. So I'll start with you first this time, Kelly. We're going to Jurassic Park. So 0 skulls being not effective, 5 being extremely effective. You can use half and quarter skulls anywhere in the middle. Kelly, what would your ranking of Jurassic Park be?
In terms of how much it affected me the first time I saw it,
Yes, ma'am.
10. Honestly, that's why I still love it with all my heart. Like
Hmm.
it meant everything to me at the time. It meant I got to see living dinosaurs. And before that, I had just seen like crappy animatronics at theme parks and everything, or things at the playground, that you could sit on. And then it was like, it brought dinosaurs to life. And that blew my mind as a 7-year-old. And I will never forget that. And that reveal when they get out of the Jeep and they see like the brachiosaurs, and it's just like, how they react to seeing the yeah, exactly, how they react to seeing the living dinosaurs is how I reacted.
Yeah.
And that's why it was just pure movie magic to me.
Hmm. And something I've said too, Jurassic Park, if people, I put this up there, the three most iconic for me would be Psycho, Jaws, and Halloween. But
Oh,
right
that's a good
below
trio.
them is Jurassic Park when it comes to, even if you've never seen this movie, you know the score.
Oh
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and like Psycho, everybody knows the
Hmm, hmm,
Halloween, everybody knows the piano lick.
Hmm.
Jaws,
hmm.
Getting
you know,
goosebumps.
Jurassic
yeah,
Yeah.
Park.
and then
Dun 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 dun
yes,
dun na
people
na
know
na
that
na
no
na
matter
na
what,
na.
people
Yeah,
know that shit. And so
I
it's
know.
like that's how impactful and special a movie can be to us that
Yeah.
in culture, even if we've never seen a horror movie, yes, a horror movie like Jurassic Park, we know
That
the
was a horror
score.
movie.
Yeah, I know, right? Trust me, you don't want to wake up next to that every day. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those things that I think that it's so hard in this world to make something perfect. And Jurassic Park is one of those things that they threw a curveball, they swung and knocked it out of the park.
I
You
wouldn't
know,
change
and
a
it
thing. I wouldn't change a
no,
thing.
would not. I mean, like honestly, like is it the perfect made movie? No, that
No.
movie has more continuity errors than any movie in the history. Like I said, we had to deep dive
Oh,
it.
yeah.
The pops change from like a Coke to a
Oh,
Sprite, and like
yeah, or even like the setup with the when the cars stop on the track and they encounter the T-Rex and then magically there's like the giant cliff that they fall off
yes.
and like yeah, no, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's okay.
Right. So continuity wise, no. Like it is not the perfect movie, but as a sit down, enjoy your experience and have a great time with a film, you put on Jurassic Park, I'm watching every time.
Totally.
There's not something I'm gonna sit there and bitch about and be like, oh man, it's just perfect. So what about you, Sarah? I know what you did last summer, 0 to 5 on how much it affected you. What would you rank that?
Oh, you gave me
Oh,
0 to 10,
no,
I
you
Oh, I
had
thought I
think.
said,
five. You had five. So that's why
Oh,
when you said 10, I was like, that
you're
makes
like,
sense.
holy
That
shit.
tracks.
Like,
yeah,
Well,
that's why I was
like,
like,
I mean,
damn,
you
she
oh,
doubled the
looks like
list.
well,
you
you know
really
what?
did.
I'll stick with it then.
Yeah, stick with your
Yeah,
10.
stick with
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I mean, 3.5 skulls. It's not like a, it's mostly just the fact that it was my first one, that
Sure.
it had any staying power. So 3.5. It basically just opened the door and it was like,
Right.
hey, 10-year-old Sarah, there's a whole genre of movies that aren't rom-coms because I grew up watching rom-coms. My mom loved and she liked those kinds of movies, which is I still
Nothing wrong
love.
with
I
rom-coms, baby.
still love. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, it was like, oh, there's a different kind of movie that makes me
Hmm.
really scared. So I
Right.
had 3.5. 3.5.
See, and I'm not being facetious or funny or anything. The Notebook is in my top 10 favorite
Oh,
movies of all time.
oh yeah,
Like,
rom-coms are my favorite. Like the fact that we're doing horror rom-coms now, like Hard Eyes, it makes me
yeah.
so happy. So yeah,
I mean, for me,
Like,
When Harry Met Sally is
yeah,
like
100%,
up there,
well,
100%.
see,
really up there for me.
for me and Ashley's anniversary, I rented out our local theater and I played The Notebook, and it was just me and her watching The Notebook in
Oh,
cinema. Like, we love that
That's
fucking
so
that's
movie,
a
and it
great
was just
movie.
cool.
romantic. That's
Oh my
romantic.
God, I love that movie so
Yeah,
much.
It's been
Like,
a while
yeah,
and
since I've
people
seen
always
it.
think I'm being funny, and I'm like, dude, I'm not. Like, if they
yeah,
made
yeah.
a rom-com con, I would dress up like Noah and go to that shit.
But
You know what I
they
mean?
should make
Like,
one.
Dude, no
I would
judgment,
I would
honestly.
Yeah,
so go there and have Ashley be like, I'm a bird. And I'd be like, well, if you're a bird, I'm a bird. Get your ass over here. Like it would happen, man. Like I'm
yeah.
such a fan of, and I think Nicholas Sparks perfected a love story in that
Oh,
movie that
100%.
is so realistic and heartbreaking. And the chemistry between Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling, you can just feel it. Like you
Yeah.
could feel the love they have for each other. And, it's
Yeah, it's
real. It's
great.
not just perfect all the time. It's what we do. We fight. It's just
Yeah.
such a real feeling. So I know I said this at the beginning, guys, but I have all their links down in the description. So please make sure you're liking, subscribing, following, becoming a part of that family as well, because we're at the end of the third act. The credits are about to roll and the curtain's about to drop. So Kelly, Sarah, please don't go anywhere. I got a couple more questions for you. Uh, Everyone else, if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Those links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror, stay what you are, and we'll see you guys soon.